Hi, welcome to Neighborhood News, and we're back again, one more week, one more show. Today, my co-host John is not here with me, but we have a very special show for all of you tonight. But let's start from the beginning and welcome our Portuguese listeners. Seja bem-vindo a mais programa de notícias da sua vizinhança. Hoje temos programa especial para si, é Noite de Bruxas, esta semana, e nós vamos para fora do estúdio fazer programa especial só para si, para essa Noite de Bruxas. Fique conosco. We have a special show today. We're going to go out of the studio. And we visit one special house in Fall River that does a very, very nice job decorating for Halloween. Last year, I was there for about 30 minutes, and I saw a lot of kids going into this house. So this year, I promised myself that I will be there, and this year I brought the cameras with me. Me and John, we visit this special house, Halloween decorated for this year. So I hope you like our show tonight, and see you next week. What is your first impression of the house?
Good. Looks good. Looks like a cemetery in front of here. Kind of like something out of Salem's Lot too. It could be, right?
Yes, I think that's the idea. And what we're going to do and show on this show is they put this beautiful decoration up for Halloween. Last year I was going trick-or-treat with my daughters here on the neighborhood, and I found out this house, and believe it or not, I stand here on this same place for about 40 minutes just watching.
You're lucky they didn't call the cops on you and said, what the heck are you doing here?
They did because it was a special night. It was a very special night.
You mean they did it then, right?
No.
Okay, they didn't take it away.
It was a lot of people here, believe me. We could not move in the front of this house last year. And what's going to happen is we're going to talk to the owners of the house, and they do a beautiful decoration for Halloween inside, but it's like private. It's just for the family and friends. They threw a party for the friends and family a couple of days before Halloween to put everything up, to get everything moving. But guess what? We're going to bring our cameras inside the house for a special peek, just for us.
Wow.
And for people that watch our show. We're going to pick inside the house, and we're going to have a conversation with the owners inside the house. So from here, we move inside.
Okay, sounds good.
So we're going to talk to our guests today, the owners of.
But I think we're their guests. We're in their house.
I know, and I feel so bad. I don't want to leave. I mean, I feel good. So let's talk about a little bit how this pretty much started. I know you moved from California, right?
Yeah.
From California.
Right.
And how's the Halloween in California?
Halloween in California was very, very low key. There weren't a lot of trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood. We lived kind of outside the town on county property, so we didn't have the advantage of streetlights and sidewalks, so there wasn't a lot going on. In 14 years that we lived in California, I had one trick-or-treater in the entire time.
Wow.
And that's vastly different from what we've experienced here.
Mm-hmm. And are you original from Fall River?
My partner Rick is from Fall River. I grew up in
Originally
Fall
from
River, and I grew up in central New Jersey. But I went to school in Rhode Island at Roger Williams years ago,
Oh.
and fell in love with New England and just wanted to come home.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you this, I'm curious to know, the first year
Mhm.
of Halloween,
Mhm.
how much decoration did you put on, and how was the...
Compared to what will happen this year, the first year was probably about 20–25% of what now exists or will exist.
Mhm.
And I think that year I was very pleased to have about 400 kids
Wow, the first year?
the first year.
Wow.
Every year after that.
Compared to
it's-
that one in
Compared to the one kid.
California, it's...
But the interesting thing is Boston, New Boston Road had their Halloween program then. So we get to pick up all the kids that were walking away from the program.
Because back then they had the like the
Street
block
festival.
party.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh,
Merch
okay.
Festival
Block party.
Okay.
a couple of years ago discontinued it, so we kind of came in when that was finishing, so all the overflow started coming here, and now it just continues to grow.
This area here, it is very high in traffic for Halloween night.
Yeah.
Halloween night.
Yeah.
And after we show this, we definitely want to invite them to come in person and visit your house.
Well, I don't know if they want that many people to come.
Oh, they want.
Sure.
They want.
We're applying for a federal grant.
Hey, everybody got grants today, so why not?
Hey.
For Halloween.
I thought
I
I'd
don't
give
even
you
know if it's a grant out there for Halloween. It's great for anything, so maybe it's one for Halloween
That's it.
to entertain a Halloween night.
Well, how many kids do you get now, approximately? You said it was 400 the first year? About how many?
Last year we topped over 2,000.
Wow. Wow. What candy are you giving away to get 2,000
I
kids
know,
here?
I know.
I'm a big fan of BJ's.
I mean, you have to.
How you do?
You have to be by the box.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be. And I know this year you have some new stuff.
Right.
You put up some new stuff, so
Yes.
this is kind of to get the people interested in coming. What else new for those that already know?
Right.
Okay.
What else new you have out there
New
this year?
features this year will include the fence that you all saw in the beginning. There's always been a fence more for crowd control than anything else and to protect some of the flower beds. But this year the fence, I decided it should be a little more sophisticated.
Mhm.
That will be added. There will be a zombie girl in a swing in the dogwood tree over the
Oh.
cemetery. She'll be new this year.
That will keep people out of the yard.
Yes. And on the third floor, outside of that peak, you'll see a flat roof. There's going to be a balcony of sorts created that will feature young Michael Myers from the movie Halloween as the young boy shortly after
Mhm.
the crime was committed.
Who you have on the top window?
In the top window, this year it'll be Michael Myers, young Michael Myers.
Okay.
In the past, it's been a much larger zombie than the ones in the room. It's a
Yes.
full-size one.
And moves, right? I remember
Oh, yeah.
something moving
Oh,
up
many
there.
things. Oh, Jason used to be up on it. Jason was on the roof last year.
I remember last year something was moving up there that caught my eye. I said, who's there?
And on the roof, too.
And on the roof
And
too.
there's a blue specter on the roof. There are several animated figures,
Mhm.
and some are just static, but they all kind of add add to it. There were spiders on the building, bodies in the graveyards, lots of light, lots of effect. Thunder and lightning on the house, as a matter of fact.
Yes, I mean, the effects of the lights and the smoke, it's unbelievable. I mean, the whole house looks like shaking. Looks like the whole house is shaking with the thunder. It's unbelievable, and I want to invite people to come here. For Halloween
They already got 2,000 people coming here. You don't want to get them all.
It's okay. They will get prepared this year for anybody who will come. So for all the decorations that you put together, and every year you add something, you keep adding. Storage must be a big problem, no?
Not necessarily.
No?
There's just no room on the third floor anymore.
You don't use it, you just close.
Nah, I wasn't-
You put the sign on the door, Halloween.
The
That's
nice
it, nobody.
thing about corpses is they are entirely collapsible.
Oh, wow.
So they kind of collapse down. I usually get several into a industrial-sized trash bag and stick them into an attic closet or off a room somewhere. A lot of the fence material is stored in the basement because it makes more sense to carry it only one flight up instead of two flights down.
Yes.
Storage is beginning to become a little bit of a problem, but now I'm at the point where I can actually substitute one feature for another, retire somebody for a year and put something else in. So then I have my own inventory to pick from. What do I feel like doing this year?
And estimate money-wise, how much you think you already went crazy? That's something you don't want to put on the books, but it has to be crazy.
I try to be a frugal shopper.
Yeah.
Take advantage of any coupons I'm offered.
Yes.
The fence project by itself, and sit tight, was about a $750 project. And it was
Just
about-
a little fence.
Just that
About
fast.
40 hours, 40 man-hours worth of work. With plan, design, milling my lumber, attaching everything, painting, priming, and so forth.
Go ahead.
Good, I'm sorry. Well, where do you get some of these things too? Or is it online that you pick some of these creatures, I guess, if we want to call them, or characters?
Yes. Some of them are online purchases, some of them are from Halloween retail stores. Some of them are just things that I've created. What I like to do is, as you see with the fence, I'll take a standard fence that's available and then I'll just do something different with it to make it a little more substantial.
And you create some of these figures that we see around the house?
Well, for example, the ones that are standing on here really are usually hung from the ceiling.
Yes.
But to make it easier, I just bought some closet poles, put them in a vase,
Poles,
painted them
yeah.
black, and set them on top. So they look like they're floating as opposed to seeing wires hanging from
Yes,
the ceiling.
yes,
And they'll
yes.
also populate the cemeteries in the front for Halloween. Some of them are inside for the party, otherwise they'll be outside.
So you all are both horror movie fans, I guess, right?
No. I'm the fanatic about Halloween per se,
Yeah.
but Rick's been a great participant in it.
Oh,
So, and what's your favorite Halloween or horror flick?
My
Your favorite?
absolute favorite Halloween movie is the original 1978 John Carpenter's Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that's cool. That was
Absolutely.
That is
best.
Yeah,
the
that's a cool movie. Yeah.
And more suspense than gore, which is what made it so
It's true,
interesting.
and even now when you watch it, you know,
Still
it was
does it.
made, it's still a cool movie.
And I do still watch it,
Yeah.
yes, it is still a cool movie.
Yeah.
what is the comments of the kids on Halloween night?
But you know,
After they pass the cemetery
Well-
and get into the front door,
but you know
it's
what's
a big
interesting?
step.
What's interesting is he goes and doesn't stay in the house. He goes out in the yard in the crowd and gets feedback, so he knows what he's going to work with.
Exactly.
So he does. He's out there all night,
I wanna
listening to what people say about
What's
that
working.
doesn't work, that does work, so that he changes it the following year.
But to give you a good example, last year, as a matter of fact, we had a young man of about 6 years of age who came in the midst of the crowd when there were a lot of people around, and Rick had been dressed as a vampire, and when the kid got up to the front porch to get the candy, he was so freaked out, he turned and ran and didn't realize he left his sneaker behind and never came back.
Ran out of his shoes.
Never showed up. I have dressed as Michael Myers from the movie and been asked on 3 different occasions on the same Halloween. Young men came up to me and said, please do me a favor. just stand by that car and look in the window. You're scare the heck out of my girlfriend. And one young woman, I chased her halfway down the street.
I remember him and as a Drachler
Yes.
last year, standing and handing out the candy. I mean, the whole you not put the things up. You are part of it.
Oh, right, yeah.
You have fun.
Oh, yeah.
I can
And
see.
family comes just to be part of it.
Exactly, yes. I saw a lot of people in the house last
Yeah,
year, you know, and everybody's passing candies. I don't know how you make a count.
I
Because
know.
everybody's passing on candy.
Oh, you get
But-
tired. I go from Happy Halloween to Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. I just,
We also made an unofficial rule that there are certain children who are just too frightened by it all, although their parents want to encourage them to experience, and we'll actually send candy out to the front of the house, to the sidewalk, so they don't have to make the trip.
Oh,
yeah, the little
Just
kids
a little
get too
too
scared.
they get too scared, yeah, yeah.
Cool.
It's unbelievable. And did you ever
I
stop
haven't,
by the
well,
house?
no, my kid is a lot older, so I haven't gone trick-or-treating probably in about 15 years, so
Wow.
I, you know,
Wow.
so I wouldn't know that, but it looks really neat.
Yeah, I mean, I like, my kids are already 13 and 15. They still like to go trick or treat with the friends. And I just go around with them. We, last year, we stopped by and I said, I stand at 40 minutes out there and just watching the traffic and the kids and how the faces the kids doing, and some of them hiding behind the parents, and you know, I had a little fun out there,
Good.
and I was amazed with the effects and everything on the house, and I said, you know something, next year I'm going to come back here for Halloween.
Oh, boy.
We started the show in March. I think.
May. Yeah, May.
We started the show in May, and since then we on the air weekly, and we've been having guests on the studio all the time. And when I booked the shows for this month, I told John, I would like to do something on their house for Halloween, because I think people will like to see what we have to show. And what we're going to do now is, on Halloween nights, we will come down and videotape the action.
The crowd.
The crowd here, and the final touch that you put together. And then we will invite you to the studio, and we will put a show together, and so we could talk about the Halloween night, how was
Excellent.
how
Wonderful.
everything happened and what happened, and then we have the actually filming of the Halloween night.
Sounds good.
To
Sounds
show.
good.
So I think that's what we're gonna do.
So, see them on Halloween then?
Yes. No, not in the studio. You wanna
No,
see
I mean
here.
here, exactly,
Here,
exactly.
okay.
Just one thing though, you gotta be sure you mention that the house isn't open to people.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Because
yes.
some people get insulted when I wouldn't let them come in.
Exactly,
And
yes.
they thought I was
yes.
being rude, but.
And that's,
Yeah, I
that's,
don't blame
yeah,
you.
no, exactly, it's, I mean, and that's pretty much, and I have to thank both of you to let our cameras inside the house, at least for those that are curious about the decorations inside the house. They will have a chance
Yeah.
to see it, the house. And like they do in Hollywood, they only let the famous shows come in. So that's,
That's right.
what do you
Well,
say?
no, it's international, you said, so I guess, right?
Exactly, exactly.
I put out the red carpet, but I think it might clash with the cemetery.
Yes, we did, you did.
Okay.
So,
So,
I want to thank both of you to welcome us into your house, and I have to thank you for what you do for the not just for the community, for this neighborhood, but especially for the kids, because
Yes.
they're the ones that take a lot of they
Enjoyment,
love
get a lot of enjoyment out of it, yeah,
enjoyment
so-
out of it.
And I have to tell you, I received the most wonderful gift the day before yesterday when I was puttering around the front lawn, and an older woman walked by with her dog, and she stopped and said, "I see you're getting ready for Halloween." And I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "This is different." And I said, "Thank you for noticing." And we chatted for a few minutes, and as she walked away, she said to me, "Thank you for making this so memorable for the children.
It is.
That's one of the best gifts that I can receive. So we're flattered and honored to be involved in this, and we thank you for coming as well.
No, thank you again.
Good.
And now we see both of you at my house now, the studio.
There you go.
There you go.
Very good, John. And with this, we will conclude at the our visit.